What are you expecting, Nico?
For the U.S., they're bringing in a team and especially players that need minutes with the national team. It's mostly domestic, save for a couple of exceptions here and there. Matt Turner, for example, it's great to see him continue post-Nations League into a new tournament. It's a continental trophy at the end of the day. Doesn't get too many minutes in Arsenal. And then I think of Brian Reynolds, for example, that is playing a couple steps down from the top teams in Europe. And for him to be on the national team, to be considered again, it's just a good way for these types of fringe players to stay in the conversation for the national team. So it's going to be a showcase for them. And if I'm other stronger national teams in the area, I'm seeing Mexico's not strong. The U.S. is not bringing their best roster. It's a good opportunity for more competition within the region. We've chosen our best rosters.
We have.
Our best 11s. We're going to the roster, excuse me.
First, though, that BJ Callaghan has selected. As you mentioned, just a couple of players remain from the last roster. This is a look at it. It's a young group. Again, 16 of the 23 players come from Major League Soccer. 7 players on this roster, 24 or younger. Chuck, you're going to give us your best 11 from these. What have you got for us?
Yeah, Turner in goal, left back DeJuan Jones. I think he's shown well enough with the New England Revolution. I want to see what it looks like here. Jalen Neal with the Galaxy, Miles Robinson, and then Brian Reynolds at right back. Aiden Morris has done really well with Wilfred Nancy with Columbus Crew, so I want to see him in that defensive midfield position. Mihailovic and Busio, we haven't seen much of, and he hasn't gotten much playing time.
Great tournament.
So let's see where he is. And then Zendejas and Cowell on your wings. Cade Cowell is, I would have probably swapped Cade Cowell, put him on the left and Zendejas on the right, and then Brendan Vasquez up top.
We have the same 11, except for one. I'm pretty sure.
Why don't you give us yours?
Jalen Neal?
Who's the one difference?
No, I'm pretty sure my striker's different. When we can check our 11, but
your striker's different.
So is mine, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in my 11 I put Jesus Ferreira, but I think that's the least of my concerns.
No,
but it's
Brandon Vasquez?
Oh no, I put DeAndre Yedlin at the right instead of Brian Reynolds. I wanted a little bit more experience.
You have Turner
in my defense. Yeah, you have Miles Robinson. Okay, fair. Like, I think good opportunity, like I mentioned, for Brian Reynolds. Georgi Mihailovic, who doesn't get starting time with AZ Alkmaar. He's usually a very late sub for them.
So we didn't match starting 11s.
Except for one, I said. Oh, no, and then the right back, except for 2.
No, but Ferreira. Why Ferreira over Vasquez?
I would also put put Ferreira in mine if we could pull mine up. I think it's not too different from yours, Nico. I think for me, Jesus Ferreira is one of those players that is, there's a chip on his shoulder about, Callaghan coming in. For me, this is going to be a standout opportunity for him to prove he deserves at least a look at the number 9 for the senior team.
And Brandon Vasquez doesn't?
Brandon Vasquez, to me, is still I hate to say one-note player, but he's just a big center forward, and I want someone who's a little bit more dynamic, and I think Jesus Ferreira...
The national team, Balogun is dynamic. Pepe can make runs off the ball.
I'm saying Jesus Ferreira thinks he should be on that at that level.
But
what player doesn't think they should be at that level?
But Brandon Vasquez knows he's a different player than a Balogun. Here, let's look at my 11 so you can see. I put Matt Miazga in. I think. I like, okay, fine. I put DeJuan Jones. I put Roldan, James Sands, and Aiden Morris. Aiden Morris.
You can't get rid of that New York City FC love.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Sands?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think he's a good defensive midfielder. I think he's coming into his own as a leader. I think he played well at Rangers. I think give him a chance to do the same. Matt Miazga, I like a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I like the attitude he brings. That's something you don't get on a team like this. Aiden Morris, I'll try to find a way to get him a bit more central. I don't know how in this lineup. DeJuan Jones, I think, has proven himself. Miles Robinson has proven himself. Matt Turner needs this competition so he could potentially get a loan move out of Arsenal. Jesus Ferreira, obviously Zendejas and Cade Cowell, I would also have swapped, just like Charlie's. I think 2 players that obviously belong there, and they've proved that they belong there. And Zendejas, I want to see something from.
You don't have a creative midfielder here.
No.
So would you make some changes now?
Probably, but I'd still find a way to get James Sands in there as your cover for the back line. And I was between Yedlin and Reynolds. I want my fullbacks to get up and get super high. So for me, James Sands almost falls back as like the top of your triangle defenders.
You
your
all
two center backs.
You all had Aidan Morris, who almost played for Canada. You're all very high on him, obviously. Nico?
Yeah, I think Aidan Morris in that lineup is a player that if you flank him with a Busio and a Mihailovic, for example, who you bring in from Europe, you got to play them.
We know Busio's not going to start. Stop playing, guys.
Why?
Because he can't get any burn on
But
Venezia.
now,
Okay, but neither can Mihailovic. But neither
look
can
at the national
Turner.
team. How much burn
Does
did
Pulisic
Chris
get?
Richards get?
Sure.
How much burn?
No, look.
Did Gio Reyna get?
Gio Reyna came in, scored big goals.
How much burn did he get?
Also, there's a lot of reasons why Gio Reyna should get time.
How much burn did Christian Pulisic get?
None at all. But Christian Pulisic is a standard on the team. It's a little different. Gianluca Busio, I think, is a great player. I think dynamic. I think can play his way onto the team. I don't think he's in your starting 11 when you start. The guy has had 2 seasons where he hasn't been great.
But you're saying burn is a reason for him not playing. That's why he gets called in this Gold Cup, to be given a chance. Because in some cases the Gold Cup
gets called up.
In some cases the Gold Cup is how a national team manager says, I see value in you. I see potential. We're going to play you here to get you another move.